faster?
I didn't expect to see you so soon.
Anakin.
What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television, and today we're going to be getting into Ashoka Episode 4 review, The Fallen Jedi. But before we get into all of that, I want to thank all of you who's watching this now, returning viewers, new viewers, future viewers. Thank you all for stopping by here and giving us a shot. I hope that today is the day we earn that subscription. We are on the march to 300 subscribers, where we'll do a watch-along party of the movie 300, and I'll give out some comic books to a random subscriber. So, we're only 41 subscribers away from that. We're at 259. Let's go, guys. Only through you guys helping us out can we grow in the algorithm and grow our community. But without further ado, let's get into Ashoka Episode 4. Of course, this whole series is written by Dave Filoni, directed by Peter Ramsey, stars Rosario Dawson as Ashoka, Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine Wren, Mary Elizabeth Winston as General Hera Sadala, Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll, Ivana Sakano as Shin Hati, Diana Lee Insanto as Morgan Elizabeth, and Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. Now, if you remember my review for episode 3, I was a little disappointed with some of the logic of that episode, and I was hoping that the series would pick up a little bit, because I felt like episode 3 was a bit of a misstep, and I will say that for the most part, this was a little bit more action-packed, in my opinion, or at least I enjoyed the action more in this. Maybe that's more what it is. I enjoyed the action a little bit more in this episode, because you've seen Sabine going against hold on, I just want to make sure I get the character's name right, because my brain sometimes no work good. Shin Hati, right? Shin Hati and Sabine face each other, because they kind of figured out that they were hiding out in the forest. And then we had Ashoka go against the other member of their party that was hidden behind a mask, and a lot of people were thinking maybe that was Ezra Bridger or some other character with a past connection. And if he was, we don't know about that now, because Ashoka took care of him. And when he perished, there's this black entity that kind of came out of him like the smoke or something, and he collapsed to the floor. And it made Shin Hati stop in the middle of her battle with Sabine and be a bit shaken up over this. So, like I said, if there was a connection to any of the Rebel stuff from the past, I didn't see it. And I wouldn't know really what to look for as far as that. But as far as the Ezra Bridger theory. That seems to be not the case at the moment or at all. And then Ashoka went to go face off against Balin Skull to try to stop the hyperdrive ring from being brought online to go to go search for Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I'd have to say that the lightsaber battle between Ashoka and Balin here was pretty good. Balin had made reference to Anakin Skywalker and how very few were left to see what truly had happened to basically one of the greatest Jedis around, and accused Ashoka of abandoning him. And this is not the first time that this subject was breached about Ashoka, that when things get going, she herself gets going away from the problems. She seems to want to be a little runaway girl, right? Anytime the shyster hits the fan, she's out of there. Because Sabine kind of felt the same way about her in her own relationship with Ashoka, that Ashoka had abandoned her in her time of need after losing Ezra. Anakin may have felt abandoned by her, even though she may not have known the nightmares and worries that he was having. He probably felt a bit of abandonment. And but whatever the case may be, whether you feel like she did abandon Anakin and or Sabine, she has to face Balin in order to stop this hyperdrive from being activated, while Morgan Elizabeth is on the ring, getting it all going, right, to start it up, so to speak. And Balin winds up defeating Ashoka in a lightsaber battle. I thought that was pretty good. I'm obsessing over my collar, I'm sorry. And and then she falls over this cliff, and Sabine is there now after she had defeated Shinhati. And she was about to destroy the mechanism to get this hyperdrive going, and Balin convinced her to not destroy it and hand it over, because that would be the only way to truly be able to find Ezra, her friend. And she gave it over, and so in her mind, Ashoka is dead. And she just goes and allows herself to be tempted by her desires of wanting to see Ezra again, despite that it could lead to the downfall of this new republic that's trying to be formed. And it almost feels like if Grand Admiral Thrawn is successful, that she would almost like be willing to submit herself even to save her and Ezra. And I don't know if Ezra would really want her to do that. Forget about what Ashoka wants, but it seems like Ezra would have felt like his sacrifice was then for nothing, for Sabine just to hand over their freedom, their selves to him to survive. I think he'd rather be dead than to live in servitude. And this might just be a way of turning Sabine heel in the long run, and giving herself over to the dark side. I still don't know why they're forcing this whole Jedi thing on her with no real force sensitivity or anything like that. The training of Mandalore in her brain, and the fact that what can they teach her that they hadn't tried to train her already in with the previous training. I'm just unsure of what they're hoping to accomplish, Ahsoka, and this. I don't know. I still find that to be kind of a sticking point for me. So finally, before I wrap up my thoughts, finally they make it to the hyper ring. General Sandala brought some fighters to try to help Ahsoka and Ren without permission. So she's there. When she arrived, that's when the ring was fully activated, the hyperdrive ring, and they took off with Sabine in tow on the ring with them. And so General Sandala is unaware of what happened to Ahsoka. She sees the ring going without realizing Sabine is on it. And then we see Ahsoka waking up basically in that nexus point that they have referenced in the past shows. And she comes across it. Basically, think of it as a nexus of time and space. If you're unclear of what the concept of where she is at, and basically there she sees Anakin Skywalker, not Darth Vader, not Anakin using his dark side at, it's Anakin, right? He no scars, no hatred in his eyes, no bad vibes off of him, and he sits there and smiles at Ahsoka, and that's where the episode ends. Now, my sticking point for this episode, and I feel like they've been trying to really do this lately, and it's becoming a little... to me, it's more than a little annoying, but a little bit annoying, where did they really think people were going to believe that Ahsoka died this episode when there's 4 more episodes of a show called Ashoka? That doesn't make sense to me. If you're trying to get people emotionally invested into this show, they did this with Sabine, where she was stabbed through her body with a lightsaber. I don't know how she was able to get up the next day or whatever, because Qui-Gon Jinn John died of the same injury. How many other people died in the Star Wars universe with that same injury, and she was up the next day like Lottie freaking Da, right? And now Ahsoka, I wasn't even like, oh, they're going to kill Ahsoka in the middle of the Ahsoka show. No, they're not. That's like, I don't know. That's like watching Alf and them killing off Alf, and it's like, what? It's not like X-Files where they took out David Duchovny's character, where you can bring in a new FBI agent or whatever, right? Yeah, so I don't know why they pretend to do that, and I think it just takes away. I think it's just lazy writing, in a way, as Jim Cornette would say in wrestling, lazy booking. And so I thought that was lazy booking. No one thought she was going to die, and Balin, I think, was kind of shown to be an idiot for someone so reserved and knowledgeable about his presence. He's a dangerous guy, and he's proven that he was a dangerous man in this episode finally. But you telling me that he didn't feel her presence leave her? I don't know. I just know that maybe just in the hubbub of trying to get away and getting on the hyperring drive, he just wanted to get out of there. Yeah, I don't know why they pretend to kill people when it wouldn't even be feasible for someone to actually believe that. But that was my complaint about this episode. I'll give this episode a 7 out of 10. It's visually looking good. I like Ray Stevens' character in this. I love his acting. I like Rosario Dawson's acting in this too. She's been okay. I'm not a big fan of Sabine, man. I don't know. I don't know. I was really, the first 2 episodes I was super pumped. Last episode I'm kind of back to being a little pumped for the show, but I'm a bit more excited now to see how they use Anakin in this series. But you let me know down below what your thoughts are on Ashoka, what you're hoping to see. Am I missing the mark on any of my criticisms? You let me know down below. Until next time, peace, Snookums.